Today I am going to be 100%ing Spider-Man Remastered. What that consists of will be shown to you as they are revealed throughout the gameplay. I'll also be playing on spectacular difficulty, as I have played this game previously when it originally came out, and I feel like that's fair, for someone who's played the game before. Before we get started though, I would highly appreciate any support shown through liking, commenting, and or subscribing, but without further interruption, let's get started. The game starts with an itsy bitsy spider lowering from their web. Then, panning over to another itsy bitsy spider, sleeping soundly in his bed. We see all these front pages showing past villains Spidey has already come into contact with. He's then awoken by his phone buzzing, revealing that Fisk is doing a big no-no, and is getting dealt with by the Popo. Spidey frantically wakes up, makes some toast, sniffs his stinky clothes, and then leaves, ignoring his need to pay rent. We get a smooth transition into gameplay, and oh my god, have I forgotten how nice it feels to traverse in this game. In most open world games you run around or ride around on like a horse mount or something, but uniquely this game makes you play as Spider-Man, so you can swing, and it's done amazingly. It's so smooth and also casual friendly, while having a slight skill ceiling for players who want to master the movement while traversing New York City. Going back to the story, Spidey makes his way over to Fisk Tower, introducing us to a recurring character, Yuri Watanabe, a cop who's been helping Spidey throughout his years as the webhead. We also, along the way, get into our first combat encounter. The combat for me personally starts quite simple, with only web strikes, web shooting and throwing for ranged attacks, while having square as your basic melee attack button. The combat has been likened to that of like the Arkham games, and while I see where the resemblance comes from, I think the combat is unique enough to stem away from that comparison. Not that I don't agree with it, in some terms. The combat focuses more on dodging thanks to Spidey's senses, rather than the Arkham game's countering mechanic. It has the similarities of a combo counter, as well as maybe comparing the web shooters to batarangs. Regardless, we aren't here to talk about Batman. A simple thing I like to do, especially on harder difficulties, due to enemies' health pools increasing, I like to air launch them, web them up, and then yank them back to the ground. This eliminates the simpler enemies pretty much instantly. I'll touch more on the combat as new mechanics get introduced. Arriving at Fisk Tower, Spidey fights his way through multiple combat encounters, encountering rockets, bullets, and fists, all pretty much dodged the same way. We also get some climbing sections through vents, which just serve as paths for Yuri or anyone else to give the next objective to Spidey, like exposition and such, which in this case is to get to the server room as Fisk is attempting to delete evidence that is going to be used to bring him in. Getting to the server room, Spidey drops a quick quip.
Is this tech support? I forgot my password.
I gotta say, Yuri Lowenthal, the voice actor of Spider-Man, does an amazing job throughout the entire game, as does pretty much everyone, to be honest. Spidey halts Fisk's attempts to delete the evidence, then proceeds to absolutely obliterate the rest of his goons. We get a nice little spam the button minigame for Spidey to help some civilians. What a hero. Making it to the first boss fight, we come face to face with Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin. We throw a couple turrets at his newly formed barrier in order to break it, then begin the one-on-one. It's a very simple first boss, but I mean, it is the first boss, so who cares? All you really have to do is web him up or throw something at him to stun him, and then hit him with a basic combo. Do this a few times, then a cutscene will stage transition you. Do the same thing, but having to deal with regular enemies as well this time. Completing the boss, you're treated with a quick time event, which ends with Fisk being webbed up and given that Mary Jane treatment. This grants us the knocking down Kingpin achievement, our first of 79 total achievements. Fisk gets sent to the Raft, a highly secure prison for special individuals, aka supervillains. We are then sent back to the open world, where we are called by Peter's boss of his real job, as Peter puts it. Getting to the real job, we are introduced to his real boss, Dr. Otto Octavius. If you know, you know. Octavius is testing a prosthetic. When the machinery starts to malfunction, Peter has to shut it off, saving Octavius in the process. Peter then has to fix the prosthetic. This is when we are introduced to the Circuit Project minigame. Basically, you connect the green thing to the orange thing using L-shaped and or straight circuits. There are also variations of this minigame where you have to balance the voltage using simple math. Hopefully not too hard for anyone out there. We're also introduced to another minigame called a spectrograph. You just have to use the blocks of lines on the left to fill the blank spaces on the right. The variations of these puzzles have blocks of erasers that erase lines created by the previously stated blocks. Combining these blocks of erasers and lines, you need to again fill in the blank spaces. To me, this one was a little more thought-provoking than the Circuit Project minigame, but ultimately, if you're struggling, trial and error will get you there eventually. There are 10 each of these puzzles to complete. We leave the lab as Yuri summons Spidey over to one of the police stations in the city. Yuri informs us that the surveillance towers on all the police stations have been acting up. After doing a little minigame to match the wavelength, the tower reveals a few crimes happening nearby. Spidey deals with these crimes, then we proceed to fix another tower, revealing something else nearby. Swinging over to the beacon, we find one of Peter's old backpacks from his high school years as Spider-Man. The game then cuts to the map and reveals 54 other backpacks throughout the city. Why did Peter forget so many fucking backpacks? No wonder he's always saying he's broke. He buys a backpack every second day. Going back to the towers, I forgot to mention, while revealing collection items and crimes, they also reveal the map to you. Think of it like synchronizing in Assassin's Creed or something. There are 26 in total, so not that many. The backpacks actually double the amount. Peter thinks Octavius has left the lab for the day, so he returns in order to fix the damage to his suit from the Fisk boss battle. When I arrived to the lab, I finished the new spectrograph and circuit project puzzles, then proceeded to fix my suit. To Peter's surprise, Octavius returns to the lab with some Chinese food for dinner. Peter quickly tries to stand in front of his Spidey suit, hoping Octavius wouldn't notice, but out of curiosity, Octavius asks what Peter's working on and sees his Spidey suit. Thankfully for Peter, Octavius thinks Peter is Spider-Man's suit crafter and not Spider-Man himself. Regardless, Octavius swears the secret is safe with him and leaves Peter to his work. Gotta love the guy. Peter falls asleep and wakes up with a sticky note on his forehead telling him to read his email. Octavius had left a heartwarming message for Peter, along with some new design ideas for a new suit. We get an amazing cutscene showing off Insomniac's advanced suit design and... wow. Honestly, one of my favorite Spidey suits to this day. If not, probably my favorite. We get taken to the menu to see all the suits that are unlockable in the game, leaving us with 44 suits overall. Majority of the suits come with their own unique suit power, making for some customization. Thankfully, the powers are not locked to any of the suits. You can interchange any suit with any power. There's also suit mods, which are just minor buffs, like for example bullet resistance or melee resistance and so on. I forgot to mention as well the skill tree. Nothing insane really. There are 34 skills in total, some being movement based and some being combat based. You can ultimately unlock every skill. It's not like you have to make a build for your gameplay or anything, which I like personally, because when it comes to making builds in games, I am terrible at it. One skill in particular that I try to aim for first is the one that allows you to get 2 takedowns for the price of 1 bar of focus. Speaking of, actually, focus is a bar that builds up during traversal and combat that allows you to heal and perform takedowns, which essentially insta-kill an enemy. When it comes to bosses, takedowns just do major damage to them. At this point, instead of continuing the story like a probably normal player, I instead decided to swing around and fix every surveillance tower as well as collect every single backpack. This granted me the achievements Lost and Found for collecting 5 backpacks, Backpacker for collecting all backpacks, and Amazing Coverage for fixing all the surveillance towers. Doing this also triggered this conversation, which I thought was pretty funny.
And that's that. Every crime tower in the city's now repaired.
Pretty good work, right?
Pretty good, yeah.
Good enough that maybe you'd let a certain someone celebrate with us?
Fine, but make it quick.
The odds were long, the danger close. But between Spider Cop's reckless intuition and the Chief's determined planning, they got the job done.
Aw, that's kind of sweet.
A pairing of opposites, like peanut butter and chocolate, or breakfast for dinner. The two work together.
And we're done. Talk to you later, Spider Cop.
She's coming around, right? Yeah, definitely.
Additionally, the reward for the backpacks is the homemade suit from Spider-Man Homecoming. While doing that, I got an achievement called Spider Sensible for performing 10 perfect dodge attacks. as well as With Great Power, one of my personal favorites.
Hey, Uncle Ben. Miss you. Doing my best to make you proud.
I got Spider-Man About Town for greeting 10 citizens,
I envy.
King of Swing for completing a level 1 traversal benchmark,
Loosen him. Gotta catch up.
as well as End Stay Down for completing a level 1 combat benchmark. On my way to the next main mission, I got Wing It, an achievement for traversing across the city rooftops. Not specifically sure what triggered this, considering I have been doing that the whole time. Anyway, arriving at one of Fisk's construction sites, a place Yuri had told us to check out, we find Fisk's men not doing a whole lot of constructing. Simultaneously, Octavius sends us a schematic for a new type of webbing, the impact web. This allows us to straight up send enemies flying straight into walls. It's hilarious to me. These Fisk construction sites turned out to be wave-style combat arenas that act as another tick-off event in the overworld. Considering how much I love the combat in this game, these and the other future iterations with different enemy types are probably my favorite thing to do. While beating the dog shit out of Fisk's men, I got the achievement So Many Hits for getting a combo count of 100. After beating the dog shit out of Fisk's men, I got the achievement Ace the Base for completing all the objectives in a base. When doing bases and crimes, for instance, the side objectives will pop up on the left, giving you a chance to obtain extra tokens from that activity. The next mission takes me to Empire State for the sake of unlocking another tick-off event in the overworld. Taking pictures of New York City landmarks grants you a landmark token. Tokens are a currency I'll explain in greater detail when all of them are available to you. There are 47 landmarks to photograph, minus the ones that don't exist, like Avengers Tower. I had no idea New York City had so many damn landmarks, man. The canonical explanation for this activity is so that Peter's digital mapping of crimes and such is more accurate, which I really like. I feel like it's not fully necessary to explain why everything is happening in a game, but I appreciate it when a game does, regardless of necessity. Instead of going around and photographing all the landmarks, like with the backpacks, I decided to do it naturally as I passed them. Because at the time I had remembered that crimes are also a tick-off event that need to be done for all current and future enemy factions. So instead of like waiting for them when I finished everything else, I can complete them naturally while doing other tasks. I'll probably still be waiting for crimes to appear at the end anyway, let's be honest with ourselves. My first side mission appeared on the map, so I decided to go complete it. A surveillance tower technician tells me that someone is using jammers to jam the tower's frequencies. So swinging to each jammer, I find Fisk's men guarding each one. After pummeling them all and destroying the jammers, I am led to a dock where I find more of Fisk's men. Except these ones are stockpiling weapons and fake guard uniforms and equipment. Turns out they were going to break Fisk out of the raft prison. I know that not doing this mission doesn't lead to Fisk breaking out, but it's nice thinking that if I didn't do this mission, Fisk's men were going to attempt to break him out. I like the way this side mission vaguely connects to the current events of the story, especially playing it directly after I unlocked it. I used the tokens I've been collecting to buy some new suits and ended up getting the Snappy Dresser achievement for wearing 5 new spider suits. I swung over to my second side mission and met Stephanie, a birdwatcher who happened to see some armed men at the nearby park. Swinging over to investigate, I find Fisk's men trying to do something. While trying to grab the flash drive that might have told me what they were doing, a pigeon swooped down and took the flash drive.
Maybe we can make a deal? Whatever Fisk is, it doesn't have a drive. This is it.
After bird napping them, we took the flash drive back to the laptop and revealed they were trying to obtain the personal data of essentially every citizen in New York City. Spider-Man stopped the upload, but the upload continued, so I swung over to all the access points and completed the combat encounters. They then spot Stephanie on the rooftop. After extinguishing all of their lives on the roof, we speak to Stephanie one more time to complete the mission. Making our way to the next main mission, we enter Feast, short for Food, Emergency Aid, Shelter and Training. Here we get introduced to Martin Lee, running the celebratory event for Aunt May. That's right, Aunt May is here, baby. Second only to Uncle Ben. Can't wait to see her in Spider-Man 2. Leaving Feast, short for Food, Emergency Aid Shelter and Training, Yuri tells me to head to an auction house as the silent alarm is triggered. Arriving at the auction house, we are greeted with men wearing masks. Naturally, we tie them all up in webbing, then encounter a camera, revealing a character with the most exciting gameplay. Mary Jane. Let's fucking go. After slogging through easily the best section of the game, we go back to webbing up masked men. Well, except for when I alerted them to my position. After my masterful stealth, I dispatch the remaining masked men, now called demons, and leave the auction house. Continuing on to the next mission, we are greeted with a shocker. We chase him through the city and catch him, but get punched off, making for a shocking turn of events. Oh, bro. Catching him, for real this time, he gets taken into custody. Another side mission appears, so I decide, why not, and swung my way over. What begins as a cheating scandal quickly turns into a wife simply looking out for her hubby. How sweet.
Okay, ma'am?
Carmen, and I'm fine. It's my husband Rodrigo. He's been acting weird, and I just found out he's meeting this woman.
Well, listen, I'm not the best person to help with relationship problems.
It's not like that. I think she's involved with bad people. Rodrigo might be in real trouble. He's scared, but he won't tell me anything.
I can check it out. Any idea when he's meeting her next?
Tonight, by the detox center in Greenwich.
Okay. Don't worry, Carmen. I'll find out what's going on.
Finding her husband Rodrigo, we discover he's been blackmailed by a picture with no context because his so-called best friend is planning a heist at the casino that Rodrigo works at. Following his best friend, we acquire the evidence required to capture them and send them to prison. Turns out the picture was of Rodrigo driving his best friend on the day of a robbery that his best friend committed. Thankfully, Spidey recommended Yuri to help, and all is well and good. Going back to Feast, short for Food, Emergency Aid Shelter and Training, Peter pulls one of the demon's mask out of his ass and hands it to Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee then warns Peter that the mask is linked to dangerous people and that he should stay well away from the demons. We then get a call from Octavius telling us to come to the lab. Arriving, we enter to find Octavius testing a prosthetic with a veteran. Norman Osborn then barges in and shuts down Octavius's laboratory, so kindly offering a job at Oscorp.
You're free to continue your work in a secure environment at Oscorp. You always were the smartest guy in the room.
As sad as it was, we have to continue on. Seeing Norman makes Peter think of Harry, and in doing so, reveals the next tick-off event of the game. These scientific research stations, while may seem monotonous at first, as simply another thing to copy and paste all over the map, for me, the content within them was varied enough to warrant as many as there are. For example, the one we are at now makes us swing through visible pollution in order to find the source and rectify the problem. Something I find funny about some of these is how dramatic they are. Like the pollution one, for instance. Spidey just casually mentions how if we didn't do this, people would genuinely die from how toxic the pollution is.
The amount of polycyclic hydrocarbons in the air is way too high. And rising. If it keeps getting worse, people could die.
Kinda insane, honestly. In case you were concerned about how easy that shocker mission was, this next mission actually involves a boss fight. While not really difficult, it was definitely the closest I got to dying so far. Regardless, you basically dodge his giant beam, and then throw a rock at him. You do this 3 times in between some cutscenes, and voila! You now have the Shockner achievement. After doing another scientific research station where I throw some concrete at shit.
Fast. Huh. Calcium and silicon in concrete. Looks like I'll have to make a mess to fix this mess. Nice, it's working.
I actually do another scientific research station where I seal some water tanks and unblock a drainage pipe. And as Spidey said,
just call me the amazing spider plumber.
Believe it or not, I start another scientific research station where I connect some lasers to one another.
What's taking up all that space on?
Then another one where I save some fish.
This is why I never had an aquarium. I bet someone calls this into Jameson as Spider-Man, water polluter.
Finally arriving at the next main mission, we meet Officer Davis. We break into some warehouse and find a secret base with a bunch of weaponry, but psych, the demon stole all the weaponry. Chasing down the demons, we get epically saved by Officer Davis. My hero. Peter returns to his apartment where he finds out what happens when you forget to pay rent. The cleaners threw out basically all of Peter's things, which is fucked up, honestly. We go on a goose chase around to different garbage trucks trying to find this flash drive that Peter calls his Spidey drive. Once we find it, we unlock the web bomb, another gadget for our Spidey arsenal. Now evicted from his apartment, Spidey tries to find a place to sleep, but gets interrupted by Black Cat, introducing us to another tick-off event in the overworld. This one, we have to look through a camera and try to find the hidden cat. The Black Cat is hidden. There are 12 of these to find. I obtained the Cats Out of the Bag achievement for collecting a Black Cat collectible. I run into another scientific research station where I find a Stinky Man and web him up. I know I said earlier that I would do the crimes naturally by leaving events on the map, but I apparently changed my mind because I started swinging around the city, doing all the Black Cat stuff, scientific research stations, and Fisk construction sites. I did quite a few crimes while swinging from location to location, so I guess that counts as doing it naturally. While clearing a Fisk construction site, I obtained the achievement The Untouchable Spider-Man. I forgot to turn off Do Not Disturb though, so it didn't pop up. But here's the proof regardless. After completing a crime while cruising through the city, I obtained the Overdrive achievement for stopping 10 car hijackings. I find a station that requires the skill Ground Strike, so I hold off on completing the scientific research stations until I unlock the skill. I also find a Fisk construction site that requires disarming enemies as one of its bonus objectives, which is another skill I do not have, so I hold off on that as well. I complete a side mission in which a man is impersonating Spider-Man. Fortunately for him, I find him before he gets himself shot and save him. After taking a picture of the raft prison, I unlock the sightseeing achievement for discovering all the landmarks. After collecting all the Black Cat collectibles, it leads me to a secret base where I find another suit, also obtaining the Cat Prince achievement. Yuri calls and tells us Black Cat broke in and stole her uniform and equipment, setting up the story for the DLC. I unlock the Born to Ride achievement for fast traveling 5 times. Getting back to Sleepy Pete, Aunt May offers us her office couch at Feast, short for Food Emergency Aid, Shelter and Training, in order to rest our sweet, sweet Spidey legs. We get introduced to Howard, a man who lost all of his pigeons due to a recent eviction. As Spidey does, he promises to get them all back while he's out swinging, which of course I immediately get to starting. I find it cute that after catching each pigeon, Howard always has something to say about each and every one.
Hey, Howard. I think I found one of Pidgey's cousins. Dusty Gray Flex. Might have just left a stain on my suit.
Clarence, guy's a little devil, but he's a charmer. Give him a pat on the head and point him towards Feast. He'll find his way.
No problem. I'll do the same for any others I find.
Starting the next main mission, we beat up some demons at a Fisk construction site, stop a crane from crushing people, chasing a helicopter through town, and then webbing said helicopter to the wall. All in a day's work, I suppose. The choreography of all these specially animated scenes are really well done, and finding the unique solutions to them as Spider-Man shows the amount of effort that Insomniac put into the game, and that means a lot as someone who plays a lot of games. At the end of the cutscene, we meet Miles and see him heading his way to the Osborn rally, where his father, Officer Davis, will be getting a Medal of Honor. Speaking of, at the Osborn rally, Norman gets an ominous threat from Martin Lee, who the subtitles call Unknown Caller, even though it very clearly sounds like him. We also literally see him a couple seconds later. I don't know why they bothered trying to hide this. Martin Lee has strapped up some innocents with bombs and proceeds to bomb the Osborn rally. Officer Davis protects the man nearest, but gets caught in the blast radius. Peter protects MJ, but also gets caught in the blast radius. We get dragged away through Miles' perspective and see Peter unconscious on the floor. This section just plays as a more dramatic MJ mission, honestly. It was here I was reminded how dark this game can get. The demons just straight up gun down a crowd of people. Miles does a sneaky sneak to try and find his dad. He foolishly tries to fight a demon and then gets protected by plot, because the demon could have straight up stopped the sequel game from ever happening. Miles finds his dad's corpse, then it cuts to a week later at Officer Davis's funeral. Definitely one of the heaviest missions in the game. In finishing it though, we obtained the Demon's Emerge achievement for finishing Act 1, so I guess there is a bright side. I unlocked the Trick skill, which allows me to do tricks in the air, then proceeded to unlock the Tricks achievement for doing 4 tricks before landing. I also unlocked the Disarm skill, so I went back and did that Fist construction site for some extra base tokens. In finishing this base, I got all the King's Men for clearing out all Fist construction sites. I start a side mission where I scan QR codes and meet the most annoying character of all time, Screwball. Thankfully, she gets arrested, but the police say nothing will stick, setting her appearance up in the DLC. Awesome! After tracking down the last of Howard's pigeons, I unlock Pigeon Hunter, obviously for getting all the pigeons. The next mission takes me to a recycling center, where a bunch of demons are guarding. After being a sneaky little Spidey guy, I find some plans for Martin Lee to bomb some more shit. Man loves his explosions, I guess. In the same room we find a map with demon warehouses, which just act as more combat arenas like the construction sites, but with demons instead of Fisk's men. This mission also gets us acquainted with Silver Sable, someone who doesn't seem to like us very much. While clearing a demon warehouse, I unlocked Grinding All the Way, an achievement for maxing out 1 milestone. I believe it was the milestone for electrifying enemies that I maxed out. I also got the Science FTW, I'm assuming for the win, for getting 15 gadget upgrades. In another demon warehouse, I got Hug It Out for sticking 10 men together with trip mines. Unlocking the ground pound skill, I hence went back to complete the unfinished scientific research station, netting me the R&D achievement. Clearing out the last of the demon arenas, I got the Inner Sanctuary achievement. Returning to Feast, short for sucking my dick, we so kindly let ourselves into Martin Lee's office to find some evidence to label him as the infamous Mr. Negative. Lee isn't too happy with that, so he sends some homeless men to fight us. Dr. Octavius calls us to tell us he has new funding for the lab and therefore money to make new prosthetics. In arriving at the lab, we see a new prosthetic that we test, but unfortunately, not optimized, it fails. Peter fixes some issues with it, and with another test, Octavius is happy with the results. We unfortunately have to do another MJ mission, so I won't put you through that. Next mission, we save a man named Standish. Couldn't choose between sitting and standing, I suppose. I complete a mission where I fight some bikers because they're doing some illegal stuff, then continue to the next mission, which introduces me to the next tick-off event. Challenges. Here we also talk to Taskmaster, which is pretty cool. Now with all tick-off events available, I will talk about tokens. Tokens are essentially the currency of this game, being used to buy suits, suit mods, and upgrading gadgets. There are base tokens, landmark tokens, challenge tokens, backpack tokens, crime tokens, and finally, research tokens. Probably sounds more complicated than it is. In completing the bomb challenge given, I unlocked 2 achievements. Short Fuse for getting spectacular or better on a bomb challenge, and Master's Education for getting the ultimate ranking on a challenge. In doing these challenges, I honestly remember them being harder, but maybe that's the DLC ones I'm thinking of. The bomb challenges are basically just a speed thing. You get to each bomb and disarm them as quickly as possible. I next start a drone challenge, which is similarly dependent on speed, but focusing more on precision, as you need to get these blue orbs that the drone drops in order to get a bigger bonus on your final score. In completing it, I got Spy Hunter for getting spectacular or better. I then start a combat challenge, which is as simple as it sounds. You fight waves of enemies and your final score is measured on your time, final health, and combo counter. So basically, don't get hit and try to complete as fast as possible. I unlocked Fist of Fury for this challenge variation. After this, Taskmaster attacked me for completing half the challenges, but nothing really happens. He just bitches out after losing and you get some XP. The final variation is a stealth challenge. This is fully dependent on speed, so just plan out your route and eliminate your targets with quick takedowns, as perched takedowns take way too long. I got the ninja achievement for this one. I start another side mission with the same biker gang, except this time they were using inhalers to turn to stone. I wish my asthma puffer did that, I think. I don't really know what I'd do if I was stone. Just be heavier, I guess. I then complete the final side mission of this biker gang arc by defeating their leader, Tombstone. For a side mission boss, he's interesting enough. He has a unique moveset but is dealt with basically the same way. Web him up and beat him up. In beating him, I obtain Tombstone Takedown. I swing around completing all the challenges and unlock Challenge Finder for my efforts. I then get kidnapped and have to fight Taskmaster again. This time he just straight up dies. No, I'm kidding. He offers a 6-figure salary job, but Spider-Man says no and continues being poor. Fair call. Oh, and I get Master of Masters for beating him. On to the next mission, we find ourselves getting molested by Rhino. We find Martin Lee as he puts on his blackface, proceeds to Kamehameha wave us. He also makes a man shoot himself. Pretty crazy. We get revenge on the Rhino, then we start the next mission where we break into Oscorp to get some information on Devil's Breath. Turns out it was going to be used as a cure-all, but is currently a bioweapon, so that's fun. While fighting a random crime, I accidentally got the Neighborhood Watch achievement for completing all faction crimes in a district. And wouldn't you know it, it's MJ time again. MJ has a minor meltdown for being saved, despite the fact she was about to get shot, but no matter. I begin a series of side missions where a college student gives you a photo, and you have to find where it is, then fight a bunch of possessed college students. Why is there 5 of these missions, I hear you ask? I don't know, but it gave me the achievement Schooled. So that's nice. Octavius tells us to come to the lab again, so we do just that. We then witness the greatest juggling act known to man. In all seriousness though, look at the smile on that man's face. I would be happy for him, if not for hindsight. I finish all the side puzzles in the lab and obtain a bit of a fixer-upper. We then get a MJ... Wait a second. That's Miles. Okay, so instead of an MJ mission, we get an MM mission, where we walk to Feast, short for finger. Cutting back to the MC, Mr. Man himself. We are fighting off demons in a moving truck, as they are trying to get Devil's Breath, which is sitting inside a suitcase, which is attached to handcuffs. Handcuffs attached to a doctor, who is inside the truck. We go into the negative zone, where we throw some balls at a demon mask. Pretty cool stuff. The truck crashes, probably killing people. Unconfirmed, fortunately. We find the suitcase empty, which is still in the truck, though the doctor was taken by Sable, so that's good. We get another MJ. Jesus Christ, I forgot how many of these there are. The only cool thing about this one is telling Spidey to web someone up and then watching him disappear into the ether. MJ being the absolute animal she is, she releases Devil's Breath. Just kidding, that was me being impatient. She stops the disperser from going off, and then we go back to playing Spidey, thankfully. We beat up Martin Lee on a train and fail at being Tobey Maguire.
Worked last time.
Martin Lee gets sent to the raft because he's a special boy. Then I start a side mission where a J. Jonah Jameson fan, who is a cop, tells me to go fuck myself. Then I do his job for him and he realizes I ain't that bad of a guy. Funnily enough, this is another side mission about Fisk's men trying to break him out. These guys are so relentless, man. Completing this side mission, I unlock Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man for completing all the side missions. Getting back to the lab, we find out why he is called Otto Octavius. He's actually an octopus man. Who knew? We go back to Feast, short for Fuck This Joke Is Getting Old, where we watch a cutscene. No, actually I skipped it. We start a mission where all the inmates in Riker's prison escape, and we have to beat them all up. Unfortunately, the raft then also starts a prison break, meaning we meet up with the Sinister Six of this game, who we're introduced with one of my favorite cutscenes.
How do you like my new suit? Dashing. Where'd you get it? It's an exclusive club. Kill him. Good idea. In fact, we don't have to do this at all if you don't want to.
We definitely want to.
First and final warning. Stay out Each of you has a job to do. Your debts will be repaid when we're done. Go!
There he is!
The Six Assemble is a pretty fitting name for the axe ending. Octopus Man then releases Devil's Breath on New York City, causing a shit ton of people to get sick, including Aunt May, who casually coughs up like 6 blood clots in her mask and says she's okay. Prison outposts and Sable stations get added to the map, which are just more arenas with the corresponding factions. I swing around the map, clearing all of these new arenas and cleaning up crimes that I find in between, and end up getting myself the Mercenary Tactics achievement for Sable, and back in the Slammer for the prisoners. I start the next main mission where I break an electrical field that Electro made by destroying these rectangular prisms. After that, I witness Rhino knock over some cop cars, just for funsies I guess, send some prisoners off a building, and beat up some jetpack boys. Next I swing over to where Miles and Aunt May are, as some prisoners have set the building alight. After saving them, Miles then saves me, then I swing my ass over to where Octopus Man released the disease. I find his little secret base, and then Octopus Man tries to bomb Spider-Man. How rude. Avoiding the bombs, Vulture Man catches Spider-Man and takes me over to his boss fight with Electricity Man. Same shit as before. You web up Electro and give him a slap. In between the slaps, he'll charge himself up on the rectangular prisms from before. With Vulture, you just dodge his charge, then slap him up. You also throw his feathers back at him, so that's pretty cool. Beating Electro first, I'm left with Vulture, who I proceed to mop the floor with. I earn the Grounded achievement after said mission. With 2 down, I continue on to fight the third, Scorpion Man, except he catches Spidey by surprise and gives him some LSD. 2 things I find cool about this sequence: the giant scorpion tails, and this Lovecraftian looking segment with Octavius's tentacles. It looks so fucking cool. Spider-Man also wakes up naked, which makes me wonder what Scorpion did to him. That mission got me to the max level of 50, so I used my last skill points to get the last skill and earn the Superior Spider-Man achievement. Using all of the tokens I've been earning, I level up my gadgets and unlock the last suit, earning me full arsenal and a suit for all seasons. Returning to Feast, I'm not even going to start that joke. Peter tells May to relax a little, as she's clearly sick. Then we cut to another Miles mission, where he searches for antibiotics while avoiding prisoners and Rhino Man. Cutting back to El Spider-Mano, we come into contact with a boss fight against Rhino Man himself, where we have to drop heavy items on Rhino's head to stun him, then slap him with our spider mitts. When Scorpion Boy appears, you simply have to web him up in order to stun him, then, attack him. In defeating the Horny Man and the Tailed Boy, we are gifted with the Sting and Smash achievement. With all the tick-off events now complete, I went around finishing off all the crimes left to do, which 100%ed all of the districts, giving me the achievement, I Heart Manhattan. I looked over the achievement list and found one that I had to go out of my way to do, so I quickly climbed up Avengers Tower, perched myself at the top, and obtained Hero for Hire. Moving on to the next mission, we unbelievably got another MJ mission. When does it end? The only good thing about this mission, we get to take some Sable agents. We also learn that Martin Lee killed his parents due to Norman's experimentation. Now we know why he wants to kill him so badly. Next mission, we find Martin Lee at an Oscorp lab, and we finally get his proper boss fight. First phase, you dodge his moves and then slap him up when the button says to do so. Second phase, pretty much the same, but the set piece is really cool, and Martin now has a massive demon mech. So that's pretty sick. Beating him, we get the achievement Staying Positive. Octopus Man arrives and steals Norman, as well as the Devil's Breath anti-serum. He kinda dogs on Spider-Man too. Taking Spider-Man to Feast, we get a really funny reaction from Miles. We also find out Aunt May is bedridden, which fucking sucks. Spider-Man has been through enough, man. Miles also gets bitten by a sneaky little spider. Moving on to the next and final mission. Crazy, I know. Spider-Man, after getting dogged on by Octopus Man, creates the so-called anti-Oct suit, which I personally love the design of. I've always preferred the simpler looking suits over the more complex or like too much going on. Over at Oscorp Tower, Norman shits on Octavius's existence, then gets dropped.
The truth. Okay. The truth is, you were only ever worth a damn when you worked for me!
The truth is, you could never accept that I'm better than you. You're a failure, Otto, and you always will be.
Spidey saves him though, so we're all good. We begin the boss battle with Octavius. Out of every boss, this is probably my favorite of the game. The build up to the boss, the emotion going into it, it's incredible. Regardless of those things though, it is pretty much the same. You web him up, then slap him up. Although he takes a lot more webbing to stun, so I guess that counts for something. Defeating the octopus, we are greeted with two of the saddest cutscenes of all time.
We're going to change the world! You look tired, Parker. Not tired. Just hurt. Otto! Stop! If you want to change the world, you have to be the kind of man who can make the hardest decisions. I couldn't agree more. Ah! Ah! No! The anti-serum.
Peter, I saw you as a son. I should have known you'd turn on me, just like all the others.
Turn. I've worshipped you. Your mind, your conscience, wanting to help others. The way you never gave up.
That's because men like us have a duty, a responsibility, to use our talents in the service of others. Even if they don't appreciate it, we have to do what's best for those beneath us, whether they understand it or not.
No, you're wrong. You are everything I wanted to be. You just threw it away.
Yes, of course. You're right, Peter. Oh, I see that now. The neural interface affected my mind. But I can fix it. We can fix it together. If you'll help me.
Do everything I can. I'll make sure you get the best help.
No! If they put me away, they'll take my arms. I'll be trapped in this useless body. Please, Peter. That wasn't me. You said you'd never abandon me. You promised. Remember? And of course, you rest easy, knowing your secret is safe with me.
You do what you think is best, Doc. It's all any of us can.
Peter?
Even when it hurts like hell.
Peter, where are you going? Peter? Peter!
It's still viable.
We'll need the entire sample as a base to produce more doses.
How long will that take?
A few hours, maybe a day.
What if we use it to cure someone right now?
Then there won't be enough to cure the others. I'll give you a few minutes.
You're gonna be okay, ma'am. I've got the cure right here.
Take off your mask. I want to see my nephew.
You knew?
I've known for a while.
I never wanted you to worry.
I did. And I am so proud of you. And Ben would be too. All the people you've saved.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do.
Why do voice actors have to be so talented, man? I hate it. We get some cutscenes setting up the future, such as Miles being a spider boy, MJ and Peter getting back together, and Harry getting all those inches of venom. After those, we get 2 more achievements. Endgame for beating the game, and the Platinum, Be Greater, for getting all main game achievements. If this was a Platinum video, I'd be done, but it's a 100% video, so we still have a shit ton of milestones to do, and some DLCs to start. Before that though, I went around and did all the secret photo ops to get a shit suit. How thrilling. We start the DLCs with MJ and Peter needing to get a room.
Cosa Nostra is making a comeback.
I love it when you talk dirty.
Easy, Tiger.
Swinging over to a museum, we fight some Magia crime boys and meet Black Cat. She breaks a painting and collects a flash drive out of it. Beating the mission, we get The Cat Came Back. We meet up with a detective to tell us about some paintings that the original Black Cat hid in several locations. This serves as the tick-off event for this DLC. Completing all the crimes in a district, we get Disorganized Crime. After finding all the paintings, we find out the detective that gave us the mission was actually the original Black Cat, as well as the current Black Cat's father. We earn the Long Con achievement for this. Doing the next mission, we fight some more Magia, and Spidey intimidates someone.
All right, I give up. Do I get time off if I talk?
You won't if you don't.
According to him, we got baited by Black Cat so she could find another hidden flash drive. She also tells us that Hammerhead is holding her son hostage. An obvious ploy, but Spidey falls for it. The next mission, we meet Screwball again. Yay. She unfortunately puts us through some challenges which, yes, as previously mentioned, these are the hard challenges that I remembered from last time I played. I went around doing all these challenges, most of them taking a few tries each, earning me the Screwy achievement. Unfortunately, these challenges are stretched across all 3 DLCs, which I mean makes sense, considering they are 3 episodes of one big story, but goddamn man. Why'd it have to be Screwball of all people? We spend the next mission listening to Spider-Man, wonder if Black Cat's son is his, while we are trying to track Black Cat. The mission ends with us just beating up some Magia guys. Next we actually find Black Cat and chase her down, Catching her, we agree to a team up against Hammerhead. This is how we get the Here Kitty Kitty achievement. Next we get some delicious pizza, while we get a fucking MJ mission, man. We aren't even safe in the DLC. Black Cat calls us over to the next mission, where we beat up some more Maggia men. The cool part is Black Cat fights with us this mission. Next we get a stealth mission where you can command Black Cat to take down enemies. It ain't much, but it's nice to have something somewhat different. After getting distracted fighting Maggia men, we get to a vault where Black Cat reveals she betrayed us to get the final flash drive, which means the sun talk wasn't real either. Kind of fucked up, but alright. Black Cat goes back to her place where Hammerhead has rigged the place to blow. I want you to know, somehow, she survives this. Apparently cats are immune to explosions. The achievement by Felicia is kinda funny though. We also get seduced by the city for 100%ing the first DLC. The second DLC starts with Yuri, Spider-Man, and some of the boys in blue invading where Hammerhead is believed to be. We fight some Maggia men, then entering the building to find Yuri and such. Yuri's men are then killed in front of her. We get pulling the trigger for completing this mission. Next we infiltrate the bar with no name with a Spidey bot. We use the Spidey bot to listen in on conversations and get photos of plans, revealing the tick-off event for this DLC, Hammerhead Forts, which are just more arenas to do. After completing all the arenas, we get the achievement Prohibition. Next mission is an escort mission, which just serves as showing us a new type of crime. It's an escort mission, so I despise it regardless. Moving on, we introduce to some epic mole rat tech, which Peter calls Dig Boys, and that's it. Some of these missions are really lackluster, but that's okay, I guess. Another mission is just doing another screwball challenge in case you somehow forgot she existed. Completing them all, we get turning the screw.
Very sleepy.
Oh, and don't worry, I spent the time getting ultimate on all of these. These challenges also led to a side mission where Spidey thinks he has Screwball's location. I wish he did, because then I wouldn't have to do these again in the third DLC. Unfortunately, it's a lie. Screwball is apparently too smart for Spidey. Next mission starts as an escort mission. Then we swing somewhere else to fight some more Maggia men, which turns out to be a distraction, so Hammerhead can wreck the police precinct. Completing that mission, we get crossing the thin blue line. At this point, Yuri had left on her own to kill Hammerhead herself. Getting to the bar with no name, we find it in ruins, with dead Maggia men everywhere. Where Yuri got the skills to do this, I have no clue. On a happier note though, I saw these amazing pinball machines. They look so fucking cool. Spidey answers the phone, putting on an aggressive New York accent, which actually works somehow. Vinny, who is on the other side of the phone, thinks it's his co-worker. Following Vinny, he leads us to a dock where other Maggia men are discussing their meeting place for a future event. On the way to the next mission, I got the gang war for completing all crimes in a district. We find all the Maggia dons in a cement pit. Hammerhead plans to bury them so that he can run the Maggia, commanding respect and striking fear into New York, like he states the Maggia used to do. Stopping the Maggia dons from getting buried, we swing up to fight Hammerhead, who now has an exosuit, which is called Project Olympus. The exosuit gives him a laser beam to shoot at me. Pretty nice. Fortunately, I have webs, so he gets dealt with like everyone else. Yuri comes in and shoots Hammerhead in the forehead thanks to Spider-Man redirecting her gun. Hammerhead has a metal plate in his head, so he's fine. This being the last mission of the DLC, we get Steel Skull Glass Jaw for finishing the second DLC. Going around finishing all the districts, I get The City Is My Family achievement for 100%ing the second DLC. Beginning the third and final DLC, we make our way to a shootout against the Maggia and the police, showing that multiple Maggia now have Olympus exosuits, which in terms of gameplay just gives them more health and I think more damage, I'm not sure. Silver Sable also returns to destroy the Maggia and get her supplies back for her war-stricken country of Sincaria. Completing this mission, we are awarded with frenemies. Like last time, we are led to more screwball challenges. Awesome. Completing all the challenges, we get screwballed. I certainly feel that way. The next mission introduces us to a new type of crime where you just protect an Oscorp employee from getting killed by Maggia men. Next, we are chasing down some Maggia men who are stealing Olympus exosuits and supplies. Silver Sable shows up in her jet and tips the truck to interrogate the driver about Hammerhead's location. With all the Screwball challenges done, we get a side mission where we chase down Screwball and finally catch her just for her to get arrested. Thank fuck. Saving the sequels from Screwball, we get the Unplugged achievement. Next mission, we fight some Magia men to get introduced to David, a kind Sable agent who thanks Spider-Man for saving him. Next, we tag along with some Magia men across the streets of New York to listen in on a conversation about the location of Hammerhead. Finding out where Hammerhead is, we make our way over to an obvious trap that Silver Sable falls into for being impatient. After freeing her, we beat up some more Magia men and get introduced to Frankenstein's monster. This was the least expected plot point. Hammerhead turning into a mech himself after the exosuit wasn't enough to beat us. Wasn't expecting it at all. As Spider-Man is about to get the best head of his life, Black Cat interrupts. Crash landing, Hammerhead drags Sable away to somewhere I'm sure is totally safe. Black Cat gives us some info on bases, which are just more arenas to clear. Connecting back to David, the arenas also contain the supplies stolen from Sable. David and Spidey also have a full conversation during all of these arenas, as he serves to give more lore on Sable and himself. After completing all the bases, we get a side mission, which leads to the most wholesome cutscene ever.
You okay?
Think so. Thank God for this Sable armor.
So, what's next?
Deliver the caches to the Simkarian embassy. Thanks to you, the Simkarians will finally get the aid they need.
Just happy I could help. But I meant, what's next for you?
Well, a few minutes ago I received a call from a school in Midtown. They offered me a visa if I accepted a teaching position. I don't suppose you had something to do with that.
Good things happen to good people.
I can't thank you enough. I will try every day to help my students achieve their dreams as you have helped me achieve mine.
Actually, I should be the one thanking you.
For what?
For reminding me why I'll always love this city. Is it me? Or is the world a little brighter right now?
Also giving us the Wages of War achievement. Going into the sewers, we find a secret base where Sable is being held and tortured. Sable joins us in the next combat encounter, in the end giving us the most Spider-Man cutscene I have ever seen.
That was awesome! High five!
You said you could defeat Hammerhead.
You, know you left me hanging, right?
There are medical records in here.
Yeah, mostly about that metal plate in his head.
Carbon steel.
Super strong, pretty sensitive to
Heat. I have an idea.
I, solemnly swear to, do whatever you tell me to.
I will call soon.
Ow. But, yeah.
Next we get led to the next tick-off event, where we find several recordings accounting therapy sessions of a Magia man, as well as Yuri's. After collecting all the recordings, we find out Yuri is the one leaving all of these recordings, as a way to announce to Spider-Man that she killed the Magia man in the recordings, and is now a vigilante. Hammerhead must have fucked up her mind real bad. At each of the sites of the recordings, you find this purple rope, which is a nice nod to her alias Wraith, whose main costume color is purple. We get the achievement Unacceptable for finishing this side mission. Next, we get taken to Sable's secret invisible base, which is now no longer invisible, meaning Hammerhead appears shortly after. In the boss fight with Hammerhead, you naturally web him up and slap him up. Surprisingly enough, his moveset confused me enough, where I was getting hit a lot more than I'd like to admit. Didn't die though, so that's good. Sable pulls a kamikaze and takes out Hammerhead. Just kidding, he emerges from the flames to fight again. Double kidding, he's dead. He's definitely dead. We get a lovely tribute to the best man himself, Stan Lee. Rest in peace. We get a cutscene showing Miles has begun his training arc as Spider-Man, and the third DLC story is finished, giving us the Terminated achievement. Swinging around, completing all the districts, we get the final achievement for the third DLC, The City Sleeps. Off screen, I completed all the milestones, which I must quickly say, fuck the milestones. Why are they so goddamn obnoxious to do? I know they're not mandatory, but holy shit, they were brutal, man. I don't remember if they're in the other games, but if they are, I hope they're so much easier to do. I spent so many hours doing them. I hate them so much. It makes 100%ing this game an absolute chore, and I despise them. Anyway, all districts have been 100%ed, meaning all crimes, backpacks, arenas, research stations, landmarks, pigeons, challenges, black cat stakeouts, side missions, main missions. All 3 DLCs are done and 100%ed, and I have all the Hang on, there's still 2 achievements to get. Oh, god damn it. So after completing New Game Plus on the new Ultimate difficulty, I officially have all 79 achievements to add to the previous shit I mentioned. And with that, Spider-Man Remastered is officially 100%ed. Thank God. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. I do enjoy the game overall. And like I said, I enjoy the combat thoroughly, so it was really fun to play, regardless of my gripes with the game. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for joining me on this spectacular journey. I would vastly appreciate it if you took the time to like, comment, and or subscribe, or even just making it to the end of the video. I would appreciate that so much. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye bye.